I really enjoy it when I find a game that was exclusive to the Game Boy, especially one that was clearly tailored with the system in mind. It's games like Solomon's Club that dispel any notion that the Game Boy was just a portable version of the NES, much like the Game Gear was to the Master System, but rather a separate console in its own right, with its own appeals and strengths. Here, in a throwback to the NES game Solomon's Key, you play as Dana, an apprentice magician who can make stones appear out of thin air. The entire game sees Dana trying to impress his master, Solomon, by escaping from 50 ever more tricky dungeons. It's kind of Dana's initiation trial, like the Aes Sedai testing in the Wheel of Time. There is then Solomon's master puzzle, should Dana succeed. There are 5 levels, each with 10 rooms and a final room. The aim each time is to work your way towards the key, avoiding traps and defeating enemies, then get to the exit. Along the way, there are plenty of coins to collect, which can be redeemed in the shop that you occasionally come across for things like weapons or helpful artifacts. Each level is timed, and the limits are totally fair. Early on, you can probably make your way around the whole stage, collecting and killing everything. Later, you'll need to prioritize your escape routes and note the places where you'll need to wait for the enemy's movements. Timing is very important, but thankfully, the controls are excellent and speedy. Dana can jump about 2 spaces in the air, which allows you to hop over dangers that are 1 tile high and wide. You don't suffer fall damage, but enemies can often be killed in this way. Create a block that they walk onto and remove it once they're stood on it, and they'll fall to their doom, even if it's just a 1 space drop. Some enemies can walk up to and destroy your blocks, turning around when doing so this can be a useful way to hamper enemy movements. They all follow a pattern rather than intelligently coming at you, so puzzle out how to manipulate them before plunging in. You can also use created blocks to absorb an enemy bullet. It'll get destroyed in the process, but can give you enough time to get past the line of fire. If you find a bell on the level, a fairy, that looks like the one from Zelda, will appear from the exit and make its way to you. Collecting 10 of these grants you an extra life, and there's usually at least 1 per level. There are lots of things you can buy in the shop, represented by a little picture. Some are obvious, but others not so. The manual is your friend if you have it. There are offensive weapons such as fireballs or water guns, a hat that makes it easier to destroy blocks from below, shoes that speed you up, hourglasses that add half your time back, and several other things. Some are activated immediately and permanently, whereas others can be accessed via the select menu. The graphics are cute and clear, with levels always sticking to a single screen. There are lots of different enemies and traps that you'll encounter the further you progress, and the overall difficulty of the game is excellently balanced. The password save system is a very good one, as not only does it save your level progress, but your lives and inventory too, and it's not ridiculously long or complex like we sometimes saw. There's not a lot of variation in the music, but what's there is okay. Overall, Solomon's Club is a lot of fun with a perfect difficulty curve, and the pace at which new features are introduced to you is just right. There was often little story in these sorts of games, but it makes a nice change that we're not saving some kidnapped woman or killing a tyrannical overlord this time. A solid action puzzle game that fits the system excellently and should appeal to virtually any Game Boy fan. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternately, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.